So I asked you guys on my previous videos, and yeah, since I only did one episode over an Anime King 2, I'm gonna be continuing this over on this channel, guys. I'll be leaving the link at the top of the description for you guys to go ahead and check out part 1 over an Anime King 2. The link will be at the top of the description. What if Naruto was given the ability by 4 devils? So I'm gonna be continuing this series over here since I haven't got any reply over an Anime King 2 yet, guys. So yeah. So today I'm going to be giving you part 2 of what if Naruto was given abilities by 4 devils. Remember to get this one to 200 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in social media platform. All link will be in the description down below, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy, guys. And stay in tune for Anime King 3 new episode that will be coming out tonight, and I hope you guys enjoy. Remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button to become part of the Anime King family. And yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last spot we left off, Naruto met his ancestors, Dante, Virgil, and Nero, as he spoke to him about his, past, and Naruto was a distant relative of the Demon Lord, as the Kyuubi was once a devil arm of Sparda, as he too understood. So with that, they decided to infuse Naruto with their power. It was such of a reborn, as Naruto's body entirely changed, giving him new pop muscles and height as well. And not to mention he got their weapons, along with the guns. Naruto had to went to Sarutobi as he wanted to find out about his parents, as Sarutobi knew that this was his time, as Minato had left behind letters for Naruto. For him to ever find out this, he should read them. As Minato explained the letters, as he also left behind 2 of his guns, and also 2 jutsus, the Harem and not to mention the Rasengan, as Naruto decided to get working on them. Seeing that he came into some money, he moved out of his small apartment and went and got himself a 2-bedroom apartment up in the upper part of Konoha, and with that he began his training for the entire month. He ended up meeting Anko in the Forest of Death while he was training there, as time at the academy went differently, as Naruto's personality, his clothing, everything about him changed, as the Kyuubi was also helping him along the way, as he was getting accurate with the guns, as they could break through trees. Especially when he added the Kyuubi chakra into it, it was so much more powerful. As the team selection came, as he got put on Team 7 with Sakura and Sasuke. As Naruto had a dream, as he wanted to kill one man, an Uchiha. As Sasuke wondered if it was his brother. But Naruto told him that, this doesn't have anything to do with him, as Naruto already had someone on his mind. So with that, they performed the bell test, as Naruto was able to find out the real reason behind the bell test, and they eventually pass. As time passes, Naruto continued his training, as an envoy came to get him, as he made his way towards Sarutobi's office. The man had a mission for him, a solo mission. The princess of the Land of Hearts was on her way to visit Fire Country capital to discuss future trading agreements, but she disappeared, as Sarutobi was sending Naruto on this mission. So yeah guys, that's basically as we left off. Link will be down in the description for part 1 on Anime King 2, but this will be continuing over here, guys. So I hope you guys enjoy. So what do you say we begin this new episode? How the hell do I get into this crap? Naruto asked himself on one knee as he pushed himself up, as he leaped back away from the beast in front of him. Naruto held out his hand as Yamato form, as he rushed forward, as the beast shot one of his tentacles towards Naruto. As Naruto leaped up in the air and slashed at the tentacles, another tentacle appeared above his head, but Naruto vanished before the tentacle could even hit him. As Naruto reappeared on top of the tentacle, as he started to run down towards the beast's head. As more came at him, Naruto resheathed his blade and it vanished, as he pulled out Angel and Reaper, as he started to blast the tentacles coming his way. As he put away the guns, Rebellion, as a broadsword appeared, as he sliced through another volley of tentacles as he flipped, as he placed sword in his back and went through hand signs, demonic fire release, dark fire jutsu, as black flames exploded from his palm and went and smashed into one of the beast's heads. as the head exploded. Before Naruto could celebrate his victory though, he was grabbing mid-air as a tentacle wrapped around him tight as another one launched itself towards him. Before it could hit him though, he heard someone call out Naruto. Flashback to what happened. Naruto was making his way to his first mission that Sarutobi sent him on, as he heard that the priestess was attacked by some weird looking creatures. They said that a young girl was taking to a place that once held a clan house, with the clan no long gone. Therefore, Naruto was now on his way towards said clan home. To think I would risk my life to do this, but I guess I can't really complain since my ancestors probably had it worse, Naruto thought. Said the fox. Yes, and for the record, I'm a nine-tailed fox seal himself an idiot, whose ancestor happened to be one of the 3 people I've grown to respect. As the Kyuubi remember when he first fought Sparda, and how the man had overpowered him, and he wished he could have killed the man that day. But after a while of working with the devil, and saw how the man operate, and saw what the man did, even going as far as to risk his power to save the human race, so that they wouldn't get caught up with the war from the devils. Yeah, well at least you're more useful than I use you, said Naruto, as the Kyuubi growled in his mind. As Naruto saw the open era, damn, this is big as hell, he said. It was like the Hyuga clan home, but with a taller wall surrounding the main and minor structures. From where Naruto was standing, he could see the huge giant gates and the 5-story building that made up the main house. As Naruto approached the gate and placed his hand out, but he recoiled at intense heat. As he looked at his hand to see the thing burn, well, that was expected, as his skin quickly healed. As Naruto looked back at the gate, as he saw a small flash, it vanished and then left the gate. It must be a defensive measure, created to protect what the hell is in there. Must be a fire type seal to create no one from getting in, said the Kyuubi. You should use me to get in there. Naruto closed his eyes as he called out Kyuubi. With that, the Kyuubi Devil Blade arm formed in his hand. Once he gripped the blade, his eyes were now blood red, with slits in them. As Naruto raised his sword up, as he slashed, the blade clashed with a barrier, but it tear right through it, as seals then spread across the entire gate, before balls of fire was shot towards Naruto, forcing him to jump back. Alright, screw this, he said, as he raised his right arm. A red glow overtook him as a single tail came behind him. But that was not the only thing behind him. It looked like a knight with armor and a fox mask on his face. In his left hand was a shield, his right hand had nothing. But his body was moving the same way Naruto was moving. Naruto said Kyuubi as the blade reappeared in his palm, and the blade happened to just appear in the knight hand as well behind Naruto, but it was much larger. Yamato, said Naruto as Yamato came to life as he grabbed it as well. As Naruto plunged the 2 of them forward, fire and darkness working together, continued to battle the sealed array on the gate. As the knight did the same thing behind him, the seal glowed from orange to red before it exploded. As Naruto dropped to his knees panting. What the hell was that? Well, that was pretty hard, kid. Someone really didn't want people getting in there, said the Kyuubi. As the Kyuubi was looking at Naruto, as it reminded him of Sparda, he remembered how the man used to slay thousands of demons with simply using Yamato to slash. Well, that doesn't matter now, said Naruto. I need to find this princess. As he walked into the area, not seeing the dark figure behind the tree, the figure had a dark smirk on his face as he watched Naruto. It looks like my blood has yet to vanish, or extinguish itself. Excellent, he said, as he burst into black dust and vanished. Back with Naruto, the white-haired boy stared in awe at the area in front of him. There were 4 one-story houses in every corner of the compound, and 4 two-story houses surrounding a huge tower in the middle. The place even had its own streets, but it was deserted. The path has not been walked on for a while. Well, until today at least. As Naruto made 3 clones and gave them their instructions. Okay guys, I want you to go and check out a different part of this area. Maybe we can find something here to help us out on this mission. As the clones nodded, be careful. Something about this place doesn't seem normal. So with that they took off, with the first clone. As he made his way and opened the door, honey, I'm home, he said. Well, this is disappointing, as no one is in there, as he simply made his way. This was rather strange, as the cabinets were filled with dishes and glasses. Not even a speck of dust was on one of them. There was no sign that the place had been vacated. Well, the boss was right. This is pretty strange, not normal at all. As he started to scan the house, the place was spotless, no dust. No broken down or wearing down. As he wondered, was this place possessed by maids? Ghost maids? He laughed at his joke. As he continued to walk, as he felt something brush past him, he turned around to see nothing. As he just continued to walk, not seeing the cloaked figure approach him. Meanwhile, with the second clone, he was in the first house, overlooking everything that was in there. As he felt like he wasn't really alone here. It was like several people were here, but he was the only one here at the same time. That was strange. As it felt like he was being watched. I guess I'm just overreacting as he saw nothing at all. Besides, this is a nice ass place. As he walked in the bathroom and turned on the sink, as he splashed some water on his face. As his face was still down, looking at the sink. As he did not notice a black cloak figure that was standing there waiting for him to turn. With the third clone, as he was on his final house after looking through the other three. But he did not find anything strange. He searched the entire place and did not find anything at all. As he made his way towards the fridge and opened it, the thing was packed with leftover meat and hey, pizza. As he pulled out the box and opened it, there was only one slice. Well, it's only me. As he ate the pizza and threw the box behind him, as he did not notice a black figure behind him. The three black cloaked figures raised their weapons. They had blades in their arms, as they raced to take the three clones out, but the clones then smirked. All three of them spin around at the same time, holding a copy of Angel and Reaper. As they fired the gun, the black figure head exploded into sand, and so did the rest of its body. Meanwhile, the real Naruto heard the gunshots, as he wondered what is going on. Suddenly, creatures start to appear in front of him. Each one of them looked like a skeleton dressed in a black cloak, and all of them had a sight in their hand. His clones dispel and send a member towards him, as he realized he wasn't alone from the get-go. You know, I was never really fond of ghosts, said Naruto. Yamato. As Yamato appeared, one of the demons came to attack him. As Naruto sliced, the thing vanished. Naruto then placed a foot forward. As he placed another foot forward, he raised the other foot and vanished. As he appeared behind several of them, as their body was sliced in half. Naruto saw several more coming at him, so he dismissed Yamato as he pulled out Angel and Reaper. As he started to fire off, as Naruto started decimating them all. As he stood there, he didn't see anymore, until he spun around and fired a bullet. Bullet then curved and burst into one of the heads of the demons before it vanished. As Naruto scoffed, this thing really thought it could sneak up on him, as he placed away his guns. As Naruto made his way up some staircase, as he found himself in a room. Stepping inside fully, the door slammed behind him and the place was engulfed by darkness. Who dared to show himself in this sacred area? Said a voice that sounded like a rather old man. Sacred? You call this place sacred? All the demons are on here. Just shut your mouth, you little brat. If you know what's good for you, another voice said, stammering a bit. Well, tell me who or what the hell you are, and maybe I'll be cooperative. Watch your tongue, child. And don't you know it's polite to introduce yourself before asking for someone else's name, especially when you invade. Fine. The name is Naruto Namikaze Sparda. Now who the hell are you three? Said Naruto, as he stepped forward. Sparda? You're the descendant of that bloody bastard? The old man yelled. They were obviously pissed off. Yes, I'm his last descendant, said Naruto, as another voice growled loudly. I have dreamed for many years of killing the bastard child of Sparda, and now I can finally kill you. Now, descendant of Sparda, prepare for your punishment. As Naruto expected an assault, but the ground vanished, as he started to fall. Well, I didn't see that coming. The cloak came around Naruto as he stabbed his hands into the wall, gripping onto it. What should I do now? Said Naruto. You should continue downwards. Continue down? Said Naruto, as it was really a really long drop. This place have a high sense of demonic activity. The only way to find out what is really going on, we have to explore it. Fine, said Naruto, as Naruto started to leap, as he made his way down, crashing into the wall, gripping onto it with his claws. As spikes were there, so if he had just free fall, they would have impaled him. As he saw dry blood on them, as he flipped over them, there was a stairway there, as he made his way through. Time skip. Deep down in the white cavern, Naruto was walking, holding a lit flame in his palm. He has been here for now 20 minutes, and he has yet to see, well, a large boom of light in this place. As he felt a demonic energy, as he wondered what was transmitting that kind of power. Kid, I think I might know what it is, said the Kyuubi. Well, go on, tell me. "I want to get the hell out of here," said Naruto. Luckily he had his night vision that was helping him more than fire, as the place was so dark. "I think that this is the spot where Dante hid his devil arms after the battle on Taminigo," said Kayube. "The Tami what exactly?" said Naruto. "The Taminigo," said Kayube. "It was an edifice constructed by the High Council of Demon 2000 years ago between the human and demon world, as several demons tried to make their way into the human world, only for Dante to take them out one by one, and eventually gaining Sparda's greatest weapon, the Force Edge." The Kyuubi said to Dante nodded, confirming that his words were indeed true. "The Force Edge? Why didn't they have it with them when I met them?" Naruto asked. "Because a long time ago, when Devil King made his return, Dante had to use every devil arm that he possessed to seal him away, even the Force Edge. They were spread across the unknown location, and Force Edge was never seen again. But somehow I'm getting this familiar sense about this place, and I don't really know why," said the Kyuubi. As Naruto felt the temperature dropping, he was underground. The place was getting rather too cold, as he saw light ahead of him. When he finally came into the light, he saw it was in a courtyard, covered in ice and snow. It confused him. How the hell was he underground, and there was snow here? "Oh shit. Naruto, be very careful here, you're not alone," Nero said, as he remembered this exact same scene and what will happen next. Before Naruto could say anything, two very beautiful female, wearing a luscious red dress, came into the scene. "Oh hey there, big boy. Did you come here to play?" one of them asked. "Kid, resist the temptation. This is the work of Dagon, the ice-toad demon," said the Kyuubi. As the fox was urgent, trying to get Naruto to snap out of it, as he knew that the demon toad loved to use deception on their victims. As Naruto jumped back, the moment he did, something crashed from the sky. A giant blue toad with ice particles over his body. "What the hell are you?" said Naruto. As the demon shook his head, the woman, they were part of him. "Who are you?" "No one has ever been able to resist the temptation before. All who succumb to it has also perished," said Dagon as Naruto raised his eyebrow, as he never seen anything like this before, and he wondered how his ancestors faced this thing. "Naruto, use me to help you fight this thing," said the Kyuubi. As Naruto nodded, "Any word of advice?" Naruto asked, as he summoned the Kyuubi to his palm. The blade was lit on fire as Naruto's eyes became red. "Just one, stay as far as you can away from his mouth. But for some odd reason his tongue is his weak point, seeing that in most toads, their tongue is always their strong point. But stay clear of his mouth and you should be able to take him out," said the Kyuubi. Dagon leaped forward as he tried to take a bite out of Naruto, as Naruto slashed him across his lips as he recoiled and jumped back. "You damn human! You pay for that," said Dagon, as the ice particles in the back fly towards Naruto. As Naruto jumped back and flipped as he slashing the ice particles as he fired himself off one, flipping over Dagon and slicing him on the back. Dagon cried out in pain as Naruto turned his blade and drive it down to Dagon's head. Dagon screamed as he thrust around, throwing Naruto off of him, as he took in a rather deep breath, as Dagon started to absorb everything around, as he then released it all. As Dagon covered the place, making it rather dark with the mist that he released from his mouth, as Naruto couldn't see anything around him. "Time for dinner," said Dagon, as he jumped from the darkness with his mouth open, as he was not prepared for Naruto to jump straight towards him, as Naruto landed right on the tip of his mouth. Dagon looked with glee as he was about to swallow this boy. "I heard your tongue is your weak point." Dagon's eyes went wide as Naruto fired off the flame of the blade that slammed into Dagon's mouth. Dagon cried as he released a mighty breath that blew Naruto back. Naruto stomped his feet in the earth before shooting off. As he flipped in mid-air, Dagon was too slow to look up as Naruto drive his blade down as he stabbed it in Dagon's head. This time, fire exploded from the tip as Dagon's body exploded outwards, forcing Naruto away as he flipped and landed on his feet. A strange white orb came from Dagon's body and floated towards Naruto. As he already knew what this meant, he was going to gain a brand new devil arm, and he wondered what it would be. As the orb came to him, in a flash of light it revealed itself to be a briefcase. A dark blue briefcase with the image of a demon in front, and yellow lines constantly running through it every second. He was a bit confused until the information came to his head. Let's see, this is what is known as Pandora's box. A box that can form up to 666 type of weapons, but I only have 9 forms unlocked. And my devil essence has absorbed Dagon dark stroke technique. That's okay for now, but let's see what you can do, said Naruto. As he gave Pandora a try, he did not notice his eyes became grey with slits. Form PF-124, as it was a barrel gun that could ravish a land with one shot. Form PF-262, Hatred. It was a secondary addition to the gun, as it could add more firepower. The next form, PF-398, Revenge. It was a laser cannon that could destroy everything in the surrounding area. Form PF-422. It was a boomerang. Form PF-542. It was a shield. Form PF-608, Jealousy. It was a high-powered machine gun. Form PF-598. As it turned the box into a platform, like a chair with missiles. Then the last one, PF-66. It opened the box, but Naruto didn't know what it can do. Hey kid, try Form PF-007, Envy. I think you're gonna like that one, said the Kyuubi. Naruto mentally commanded the box as the thing twisted into a new form. As the thing turned into a bike, with the Pandora's image on the front. A dark blue bike. As Naruto sat down and placed his hand on it and revved it, as he could hear the engine. As it was a small jet on the back as well. That boom. As he got on it and ride off towards the next battle. 20 minutes later, Naruto made to an area that was covered in ice. As he saw a cave. As he called back Pandora and started to walk to the cave. Once he entered, the walls were covered in ice. But thanks to the Kyuubi, he can withstand any temperature below 500 degrees Celsius. As there was a giant thing in front of him, covered in ice with chains connecting it to the wall. What the hell is that, said Naruto. That is good old Cerberus, the Ice Guardian. Is a very good demon. Noble. He get really strong when he's pissed, said the Kyuubi. He's a three-headed dog. He mainly uses ice attacks. But once you get past that, you can take him down without real trouble. His main weakness is fire, and inconveniently, its size, said the Kyuubi. After examining all that, Naruto turned towards a huge beast that was Cerberus. Just as he stepped forward, the room started to shake, as he jumped back, dodging a block of ice that fell down. As the creature lifted itself up, a large dog, with 3 heads, 3 different eyes. Leave now, mortal. The likes of you are forbidden in this land. You, who are powerless, are not worthy to step foot here. The head from the center spoke. Wow, you know I never seen a talking mutt before. I can walk on wall, walk in water, but this, take the cake. You know, I bet you'll be a first prize at the dog show, said Naruto. As Cerberus growled. You, a mere human, make a mockery of me? His red eyes glow as he blasts ice from his mouth. As Naruto simply jumped right over it and landed on his feet. Easy there, Fido. How about I take you for a walk? Come on, boy. Come on. As Naruto whistled for him to come. You will regret this, you worm. Cerberus launched another ball of ice towards Naruto. Rebellion, he said, as he sliced it in half. As Naruto spin, stinger, he said, as he threw the blade that pierced into Cerberus. Right into his leg as Cerberus winced out in pain. As Rebellion was sent sailing back towards him as he caught it. As Naruto then leaped up in the air and threw Rebellion, he then pulled out his gun and fired, as one of the bullets hit Rebellion right on the handle, as it flew faster and hit the ice on the left head, breaking it. As Naruto dropped like a missile and kicked the sword as it pierced into Cerberus' head. As Naruto summoned the Kyuubi and sliced the left head off, leaving Cerberus with only 2. The dog demon became red as he was fiercer than before. As Naruto called back the Kyuubi, as Rebellion fly back towards him as he caught it. As he jumped right over Cerberus, who was trying to eat him. Cerberus roared as ice particles dropped from the ceiling, ice spikes, forced Naruto to spin his blade above him, blocking them. As Naruto leaped up to dodge a large particle of ice that Cerberus sent towards him. As he was in mid-air, he pulled out Blood Fang and pushed as much chakra as he possibly could into it. As he fired it, the bullet slammed into Cerberus' center head and exploded into fire. As Naruto created 30 clones, as all of them pulled out their 2 guns. Ready? Aim! Fire! Said Naruto. A large barrage of bullets slammed into Cerberus as he cried out in pain. As Naruto kept it going for a full minute until Cerberus' body hit the ground at thud. As Naruto stopped his clones and dismissed them. As Naruto approached Cerberus, He was trying to stand, but he couldn't really. You're not a human. Are you, Sparda said. Who knows, said Naruto. I'm not even sure myself anymore. As he has been asking himself that no for a long time. He had the mind of a human but the power of a demon. Maybe he would never find out what he truly is. Regardless, you have proven your ability. I know when I'm beaten. You have earned your victory. And with that you can take hold of my soul, said Sparda. Sparda started to shake as his body exploded. When the smoke cleared away, all Naruto could see was a blue spear of light. Naruto sighed. The damn dog could have at least pointed the way out first, as he absorbed Sparda's soul. As Naruto was no holding a nunchuck, but it was 3 of them. They were blue, with ice tips, as they were connected to a chain. As the memory rushed into his head, a lot about the devil arm that he was now holding, Sparda's devil arm. He would have extreme amount of skill to wield this weapon, as Naruto's eyes are now light blue. As all of Sparda's ice techniques also flood into his mind, it seems like with each devil arm I receive, I learned the attacks I use as well. Interesting, said Naruto, as he put Sparda away, as he felt something strange burn into his skin, as he looked to see that he had 2 new tattoos. One under his left arm and one under his right arm. The one on his left arm was a face of Pandora's box, with veins around it. On his right arm there was a light blue arrow, with snowflakes around it, as he smirked at his new tattoo and made his way. 2 hours later, as Naruto made his way, as he had a different ability, echolocation, something I was usually finding in bats, but his was a lot stronger. With a single sound he could hear everything without even opening his eyes, as this would allow him to see every single blind spot that he possessed. As he made his way, he saw the large gate. Chains were in front of it blocking it, as 2 human-like bodies were to the side, as they had broadswords in their lap, as chains were wrapped around the blades. Look brother, it's been ages, but we finally have company. I see that. Well then, we must entertain our guests. You're right. We have to be gracious hosts. So, what should we do? How should I know? We need to come up with something. Naruto sighed as he wondered when would this conversation be over. Brother, it appears our guest is signed, the first voice said. Yes, just like the last guest that we had, the second voice said. Look, I don't know about your other guests, but I want through this damn cave and get through that gate. The 2 statues then start to shake, as they stood tall as they took the form of 2 headless bodies. Each of them had what looked like scales on their right arms, and they had their blades on the left. They had a sash around their waists, one red and one blue. Our job here is to guard this gate, the red one said. Yes, only those who are worthy can pass, the blue one said. I am A.G.E, the red one said. And I am Ruja, said the blue one. We are known as a firestorm, the 2 of them said together, as the wind came on the blue one's sword and fire on the red one's sword. They each sent a combined attack towards Naruto jumped back, as he looked at the 2 headless freaks. Okay, if you guys know anything about Tweedledee and Tweedledum, now would be a good time to tell me, said Naruto, as he dodged another strike, as he tightened his grip on Rebellion. They both are powerful demons, but as you said, they are incredibly stupid and they can be beaten easily. All you have to do is overpower one, and the other will come after you to defend him. Just don't allow them to work together. They work well together, but apart, they're nothing, said the Kyuubi. As Naruto jumped back as A.G.E tried to take him out once again, as Naruto extended Rebellion. Prop Shredder, he said. Wind slashes slam into the thing's body as Naruto leaped off the ground, as he sent chakra down to his fist and smashed it right under the thing's chin, knocking him off his feet. As Naruto went through quick hand signs, fire release, heat cannon, as he exhaled a large stream of fire that incinerated A.G.E in a matter of minutes. Brother! Ruja called out, watching his brother being incinerated before his eyes. As he held out his hand, A.G.E's sword was sent flying as Ruja caught it. Both swords are exploding with power now as he leaped towards Naruto. Naruto jumped back and summoned Pandora as he fired an explosive from it. It slammed into Ruja as he slammed into the wall, as Naruto started to charge up revenge. When the headless demon got up, he only saw Naruto finish his attack, as the attack smashed into him and his body exploded. The only thing that survived was the 2 swords. As Naruto started to walk away, placed away Pandora. Wait. Naruto stopped as he turned to see the 2 swords. Eyes, looking at him. We have been waiting for a long time, the red one said. For someone stronger than us. For someone that can control us. My name is A.G.E. And my name is Raja. You shall take us with you. We can be great help to you. As Naruto looked at the two of them. Okay, but two conditions, he said. Name them, the two swords said. Firstly, I want to know everything you know about this place, and how I can get back out to the top floor. This place is known as Demon Quarter, due to the clan that live here, being experts on using demons as weapon and such, A.G.E said. They all were very powerful using demons on occasions. We would help fight some members, Raja said, with Naruto nodded. Okay, but what became of the clan Naruto asked? We don't know. All we know there was an attack on this home 100 years ago, and we were placed here to protect the clan's secrets from escaping. Though they said the time would come when a warrior would return here and take control of the guardians, as well as the secrets of the clan. A.G.E said, with Raja shaking. That meant that he nodded his head. We do, however, know the name of the clan that once lived here, Raja said. Really? What was the clan's name? Naruto asked. Their name was Kazuma, the holders of Demon, the two swords at the same time. This is interesting, said Naruto. But if I want to learn more, I will have to keep going up. Okay, you can come along, said Naruto. Just one thing though. No talking. Fair enough, said A.G.E. As you wish, said Raja. As Naruto grabbed both of their handles, as he slashed with them, placed them together, they merged. As wind and fire swirled around the one blade that he was now holding. As Naruto slashed it, the gate was melted, the chains melted away as it was carved open. As Naruto separated the blades, as they each burst in the particle of light, and a new tattoo appeared on his body. It went under his right forearm, and it looked like a yin and yang symbol, but instead of black and white, it was red and blue. As Naruto made his way, as he called back Pandora and transformed into the bike, as he jumped on it and headed off. Sometime later, Naruto made his way, as he was now walking through a hallway. The place was just going on forever. As he made his way, as he saw an open area where bats all over start to converge as they came together. As Naruto saw them form a woman. She had light green skin with long blood red hair. She was wearing no shirt, but her hair came down and covered her breasts, as she had on a long black skirt. As Naruto noticed, the bats were the one that were forming the skirt, as others flew behind her. As Naruto noticed her fangs, as she was quite beautiful, as she laughed at his reaction. Careful kid, said the Kyuubi. That is Nevin, the lightning witch. You know her, said Naruto. She's a succubus, one of the only few with real power and famous for it. Sparda had a run-in with her before she was sealed. The bats behind her would act as shield so your guns are out. You will need to be careful with this one, otherwise she will suck you dry, and even with her healing, it will take a while. Any weakness I should know about, said Naruto as he tried to keep his eyes off her exposed body. Her weakness is ice. But you don't know how to use Cerbos at all. You should use me, my fire, to fight your lightning. Nevin then spoke. Welcome, sir. I take it this is your first time here, she said. Yeah, it is. You'll be nice to me, won't you, said Naruto. Of course I will, she said. She walked around him. I'll treat you so nicely, you will never want to leave. As she stopped right in front of him. As he was quite handsome for a boy's age, and the power radiating off him. As she felt the power earlier, and she thought that it was the demons who got into a scuffle, but it was him. I'm afraid while that's so nice, I can't. I have to be home back soon. And sorry, I can't really stay here for eternity. Alright then, we can make out a deal. You know we're gonna fight, she said. If I win, well, you're mine. And if I win, said Naruto, well, I'll tell you what you get if you win, she said. As she turned and blew a kiss at him, as it was a strange purple mist. Naruto called out Kyuubi as the blade came. As Naruto slashed his flame right through the wind, her bats flew in the wind and took the attack. As she raised her hand, bolt of lightning exploded from them as they came towards Naruto. As Naruto leaped out of the way as he slashed towards her again several times, but her bats kept on blocking them. As he sent away Kyuubi and summoned Rebellion. Stinger, he says, the blade extended towards her. She blocked the attacks, but this time she sent her bat forward as he surrounded Naruto. She then blast lightning towards him. Naruto direct chakra to his legs and blast off the ground as he placed Rebellion on his shoulder as he went through one side. Wind release. Drilling ear bullet. Nevin jumped back as he sent another lightning attack towards him. As Naruto twists, dodging the attack. As he threw a kunai and went through one side, they multiplied to 50. She made a prison of lightning above her, destroying the kunais. And when the lightning dissipated, she was gone. He heard a chuckle behind him. As he looked to see Nevin, Game over, sugar. As she slammed him with a lightning blast. But his body poofed away, making her eyes widen. Dance macabre, she heard behind her. As she turned. The moment she turned though, several deadly slashes were laced across her body with Naruto's blade as he was moving intensely fast. His body was not used to this high speed, but he was still able to keep as best he could before he sent her sailing away as she crashed hard. As Naruto stopped as he panted a bit. As Naruto made his way over, panting a bit. She was still alive. Not bad, sugar, she said. To think I met someone as handsome as Sparda once again. Very well then. I'll see you later, my master, she said. As her body burst into particle. As left behind was an purple orb. As the thing came near the hand, and he was holding his new devil arm. It was an odd looking guitar, it had no strings. It had streams of purple lightning streaking down it. As Naruto felt electric, and his eyes were now dark purple. Man, I love this shit, said Naruto. It's like every time I gain a new power, I get a new form. I can't wait to train with this baby, he said. As he sent away the guitar, he had a new tattoo now. It was a bat, with purple lightning around it, right on his chest. As Naruto's smile, he was getting more powerful by the second. As he was getting so much more powerful. Naruto, stop. If you think like that, arrogance will be your downfall. As Naruto slapped his head, he was getting a bit too giddy. If he thought like that, it would make him no better than Sasuke, as he couldn't afford to be arrogant. Sorry, I almost lost myself there. Maybe it's the fact I keep on adding on to my power that is making me think that way. As with that, he started to walk, as he summoned his bike again to get the hell out of here. As Naruto made his way to a rather large door, there was a message on it. Beware entering this chamber. You shall disturb the rest of the demons and incite the fury of the guardians. To escape with your life, you must complete 4 trials. He who complete every trial would earn the key of fire and the guardian soul. Beware, for who? Soul is only clear, and pure blood can go beyond this door and hope to ever survive. If not, death is the only result. Huh? What does that mean, said Naruto? I believe this is a message to any of this clan that the 2 blades spoke of, who comes to take the trial, said Kyuubi. But it had nothing to do with this clan, said Naruto. But then again, there may be something valuable in there. As he decided to make his way in. After all, he could deal with a few simple trials. They wouldn't be too bad, right? As Naruto made his way, the place was dark, as he used his night vision to the maximum. As he came upon a strange pedestal, there was a gun on it. A rather strange gun. Who dares to wake me from my slumber? Tell your name, or else you shall meet death. The gun spoke, despite not having a mouth. At this point, he has been through so much. Well, this is the weirdest thing he has seen so far. The name is Naruto Namikaze Sparda. What's your name, said Naruto. My name is Yazurake. What makes you think you're worthy of me, when you do not carry the name of Kazuma? At the same time, how were you able to dodge other demons to get here? Well, I fought all of them and defeated them, said Naruto. Interesting. Tell me what makes you think that you can defeat the demons if you were not born of Kazuma's blood? The sword asked, with Naruto rubbing his chin. Well, it isn't strictly on the lines of blood, said Naruto. If this clan was able to do it and I'm not from this clan, then that would mean I would be a member by bond and not by blood. I mean, sure, there are ways to increase your clan bloodline without multiple wives, but you would need absolute trust that the person holding your bloodline would honor their word, and that's a risk not having. Very good answer, Naruto. You passed the first test. The gun said. I passed? I didn't even do anything, said Naruto, as the gun laughed at that. Yes, you did. You just said the way of the Kazuma clan. They always believe with no true bloodline to call them clansmen. They allowed in any members that fit the criteria and made them promise to honor the code that the clan has set. I see that code within you, and as such, I allow you to use me. Naruto reached forward and grabbed the gun, as his eyes turned deep green, as he pointed the gun towards the statue that was in front of the pedestal, as he gripped the trigger, as a white orb appeared in front of the gun, before he released the trigger, as it blasted and destroyed the statue. As Naruto felt the backlash of the blast, he was surprised. He looked at the gun with awe, before it burst into light particles, as he had a new tattoo, right in the center of his stomach. A black star with 5 points. It looked quite standard when it comes to the others, but he liked Nevin's the most. Why, thank you, master. You look even more handsome with them. Naruto blinked as he looked around, but he saw no one. Nevin, how were you able to speak to me? Oh, you don't know? Well, I guess that's understandable, since you talk to the Kyuubi on a daily basis, and you are his vessel. Cerbos isn't a talker like you would think. And you told A.G.E and Rija not to talk, and Dagon refused to talk to you after you stabbed his tongue. Even though you did us all a favor, he would have talked you to death if you gave him the chance. But I am not like them, and I can speak to you freely, she said. As Naruto nodded, as Naruto made his way, as he saw courage. The word courage there, as he read underneath it. In order to know your true power, you must stand and face your worst fear. As Naruto stepped through, it was the only way to get out of fear. As he saw he was in an arena. Yes. As he glanced around, a coliseum, a rather large one. As he heard a voice behind him. Hello, son. As Naruto turned at the voice, a man wearing a Jonin outfit with a white cloak with red flames at the bottom, standing there looking at him. Blonde hair and blue eyes that had so much hate in them. As Naruto looked at the man, his father, the one that was responsible for the hell in his life, and also the great power that he had now. But how? Father, how are you? Before Naruto could get the answer, he had to duck, as a kunai slash where his head was. As Naruto brought his arm up and blocked the kick from Minato. Don't you dare call me your father. My son died in the Kyuubi attack. You demon, said Minato as Naruto stood there in shock. How could his own father say that to him? But why? I'm your son, said Naruto, as he ducked under another slash, as he heard how kind and passionately fortified he was. As Naruto dodged multiple slashes. This couldn't be the man he heard of. Because you killed my wife and child, the only two things I had in the world. I sacrificed my life for them. And I died for them. And what did you do? You killed my wife by taking possession of my son. And I'm gonna make you pay for it with your life. Minato held out his hands in a Rasengan form. As Naruto leaped back as the Rasengan destroyed the earth. As Naruto blocked another slash from Minato. But Minato twisted and kicked him straight down. The moment Naruto had touched the ground, he had to push off, as another Rasengan smashed where his body once was. As Naruto stood there shocked, his own father was trying to kill him. As he didn't know what he should do. Should he fight his own father? As he was trying to find out why his father hated him so much. This was his fear. To lose the love of his father, his hero. He could honestly say that thanks to his father, he had the power that he wanted for his entire life. Sure, it was a result of him being alone. But he knew his father gave him the Kyuubi because he was the only one worthy of holding the beast. As Naruto picked himself up off the ground. Courage, he thought to himself. So I take care to fight me now, said Minato. Might as well. Can't let my old man think I'm weak, said Naruto. Minato appeared in front of him in a flash, with his fist above his head. As Naruto's finger twitched, but he stopped. As a hand landed on his head and ruffled his hair. You passed, Naruto, he said. What? The whole point of this test was for you to get over the fear. Deep down, of me hating you like the rest of the villagers. And I really don't hate you. See that I'm responsible for a lot of the shit you went through in life. And I would never hate you. And you are my son, said Minato. But, Dad, how are you here now, said Naruto. I'm here because I'm only representing your fear. I'm still dead, sorry. Don't worry, we'll meet someday. But I have to go. My time is ending. I give this gift to you, and I hope you use it well. As his body started to turn white. As he ruffled Naruto here one last time. As Naruto felt a rush run through his body as it came from Minato. As Minato turned to a white orb and entered his body. This was not a devil arm like he thought he would get. What he received from his father was a new style called Serenity. As Naruto smiled, and with that he headed off. As he came upon a locked door. As he placed his hand on it and it opened up. The moment he stepped inside, it slammed behind him and fire erupted all over the door. Naruto sighed as he looked around the room. It looked like a huge ballroom, as blood was over the place with scratches. It looked like a battle that went on in here. Whatever this test was, it was going to be a big one. The room started to shake, and a gigantic claw ripped through the wall, followed by 4 more. As the wall was pulled away into darkness, as Naruto watched as 8 legs came out, revealing a creature to him. It was a huge armored spider. 8 legs coming from his back instead of his sides. A long armored tail that had a stinger attached to the end. It had a head that almost resembled a human's if it didn't. Have about 20 glowing eyes and a huge mouth full of large teeth. It was wearing some kind of helmet as well. 90 years. And this is the little snack that you bring me. The Kyuubi started to laugh. Kid, don't try to go all out with this pathetic thing. As Naruto heard the other demons in his collection laughing as well. Yes, master. This is a demon spider. Hinone. He's also known as the master of shadows. He depends on his large size and his armors to kill his so-called prey. Sure, the armor may help him, but his underbelly is completely exposed, and it is his greatest weakness, and he's rather easy to distract. Said Nevin. You also like to know him, said Naruto. I had a run-in with him a while back, and use him as a training post for that fire technique I taught you. Just use that and he's done. But don't use your guns. Let's include your demonic guns. And his weakness, he's very slow. And also, fire is one of his main weaknesses as well. Human, are you thinking of your last words before I take you out? Yamato said Naruto as his blade appeared. The spider raised his legs and sent them down towards Naruto to kill him. But Naruto jumped back. Summon swords, he said, as 5 blades appeared around him and started to spin. As they spin in a circle and shot towards the spider, who brought his legs up. The armor did its job and kept the spider safe as well. As Naruto shoot forward, the spider sent his tail towards him, but Naruto clashed with it, as the armor on his tail was protecting it. So Naruto slipped past the tail and drive his blade forward, right into the exposed area. As Naruto then flipped, stabbing and turning his blade. As the spider cried out when he couldn't feel his tail anymore. As Naruto jumped back, demonic fire release. Black fire dragon jutsu. The spider screamed out in pain and agony as the fire engulfed him. When the flame stopped, the spider crawled out in pain. Damn you, you bastard. I'll kill you, he said, as he started to gather white energy at his mouth as Naruto stood there. He simply sidestepped the attack because it was rather slow. As Naruto extended his hand, as he started to focus as he dodged the spider, as he kept on firing smaller blasts. As Naruto then shoot forward, dodging the last blast, appearing right in front of the spider face. I think my father said it best when he named this move. Rasengan! The spider was sent sailing off the ground and smashed into the wall behind him with tremendous force. As Naruto's blade ignites red flames, slowly turning blue as he walked towards the spider. Last chance. Give up. I refuse to give up to someone like you. Now die! As Naruto slapped away his leg that tried to pierce him. Fool, said Naruto as he raised his blade up in the air as the flames swirled madly into a wild, ferocious tsunami. Demonic fire release. Scar of the blue tsunami, said Naruto as he swung his blade. The spider cried out in pain and agony when the flames slammed right into him like a tidal wave. As the thing cried out in pain and agony, while Naruto had a stick with marshmallows roasting as he was singing to himself. As the spider continued to scream as Naruto kept on eating his marshmallows, the body of the thing then exploded as a white orb came to Naruto. As Naruto had his new weapon, this one looked more demonic. A pair of gauntlets are on his arms as he looked at the spider armor, but they were darker in color, as he had shoulder guards on as well, and the guards are on his legs as well, with tiny claws on them. He could scale walls with these with ease, or use them to make a quick kill. His eyes were now dark brown like the devil arm, as he had the spider legs on his, side, near to his rib cage, as a tattoo. Suddenly, a staircase came up out of the ground, with a mirror at the end of it. What the hell is this? Maybe it's your way out of this hellhole, said the Kyuubi. As Naruto made his way, as he went through the mirror, as he appeared in a forest to a shrine in the center of the field, as he saw a bed over the corner, with someone lying there, as he heard something, as he turned to see a rather large silver dragon with bat-like wings. Who are you? My name is Cien, and you have just become the new holder of the dragon contract. But guys, be and subscribe right here for the next part of this video to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out part 1. The link will be in the top of the description for you guys to enjoy. And yeah, without further ado, I'm off for now. Stay tuned for the rest of what is coming your way. Peace.